18th, 2019 to order. We will begin with an invocation offered by Commissioner Hadfield, and then we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll have our Community Development Director, Scott Lyons, lead us in that.
Our Father in heaven, we are grateful to be here this day in this great county and the land that we live in. We're grateful for all the many people here who work hard and raise their kids and be able to make this a productive area. We're grateful for the moisture that we've received in this last week. And Father, we ask that thou please bless us as we go about our business with the county, that we might be able to have thy Spirit to be with us, that we might be guided and do those things which would be pleasing unto thee. Father, please bless those men and women who are serving our county and our safety and our sheriffs and fire departments. Please guard and protect them, and please bless all those who protect us abroad throughout the world. Please guard and protect them and help keep them safe. Again, Father, we are very thankful for this land and for this area and for the good people who live here. And these things we pray for humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's see.
Too far ahead.
Any questions, discussion on former items? Okay. And let's see our minutes. We'll have those.
I've got them.
Okay.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes from September 4th, 2019.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Steve, you got anything that we need to take care of before we start?
Don't think so.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. No former agenda items. Corey's not here. I haven't seen any smoke or smelled any smoke, so that's a good sign, so we'll
Got a
keep
couple
moving.
little ones
Yeah,
right off the freeway, but that's about it.
okay.
Probably ought to talk to
Knock on wood.
about being gone. We'll
Oh,
talk a little
yeah,
bit about-
That's what I was gonna ask you guys
Oh.
about.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to go back last week to the White House and follow up on I guess it was a second visit from the first conference that we had a little over a year ago on coordinating between the federal government and small government, counties and cities. Talked about some of the issues. We had the opportunity to go around and visit, not so much with our representatives and senators, but with others to kind of educate them on the PILT process and why it's so important for us to have those funds out here because of the public lands and things that we have. And we went to Senator Booker's office and went to Representative Louis Gohmert's office from Texas. Had a good visit with him. But I think it was important just because that way they can hear firsthand the needs and concerns that we have out here. And so I thought that was good. I don't know, is there anything else you want to add to that?
I sent Chrissy a presentation from NACO, and I think next meeting we'll put up that NACO, because I think a lot of people don't really realize anymore what PILT is, and it's 10% of our budget, and so maybe that'll help educate people on what it is and why it's so important that we're able to keep $3.2 something million coming into the county, so.
Yep.
Very good. Thanks, gentlemen. Okay. Let's see. First item on our agenda is road maintenance. Larry Pierce. So we'll go ahead.
I've
been here before.
You know I've been here before.
Hey,
You were
hey.
just coming in.
Can you
Larry?
state your name for
You
us?
wanna pull up,
Larry Pierce.
you wanna pull up a
Brigham,
chair?
Utah.
Just a sec, let's pull up a chair so you can sit down. Yeah, we'll just have to mellow that one out.
Gentlemen, we've got a road up there.
You wanna grab that mic?
Yeah,
So,
she can record
We've
it.
got a road up in Garland, West Garland, in the county area. It's on county property. It is not in Tremont nor Garland. I was up here before. Now I've got new people up there. Tyler Thompson is up here. That road is broke up so bad that he had to haul his own gravel in. Go ahead and take the picture. I brought some before. You didn't care to look at them. He's built a beautiful new utility barn shed. And he's built a gorgeous new house that's not quite finished. I'm paying over $5,000 taxes every year. I would bet that Mr. Thompson is paying 4 times that. He has the Golden Spike Electric down there and another business, Two King Trucking's in there, and it's a huge building. His dad has a house on the property he bought from us, and now he has that lovely home that is not even quite finished. He hasn't got his yard in, a bunch of fruit trees, and I would bet that house is worth 3-4 times mine. Now, we talked about liberty and justice. I want some justice. The state of Utah and the federal government gave that road to you guys for the maintenance. The last time I was here, I was told you were going to let it turn to gravel. You didn't tell me there was going to be big holes that man had to pack his own gravel into a county road, because it's not right. There's only one man that really listened to me at all, and that was this one.
you must have caught me on a good day.
Well,
just kidding.
you didn't do anything because I
Wow.
think you just wanted to go along to get along, and that's what you did. But this guy knows I don't like him.
Okay.
Even
Hey,
though his parents are...
Larry.
If you want to stick to the agenda, we're willing to listen, but
That's
if you're going to
fine.
give a personal attack, we're done.
We're done.
Very good. I'm not attacking you. I'm just telling you didn't do anything. You just kicked me in the teeth and went
But we
ahead.
have done, we've went through all the records and we've tried to find out who's,
Okay. Anyway, Tyler Thompson's got one of the sweetest families I've ever seen. He's got lovely little kids and a beautiful wife, and they got to bounce up and down that broke-up road. It is not right. Like I say, I'm paying over $5,000 a year for taxes.
so you realize 70% of that goes to school district,
I
right?
understand where it goes.
Okay.
And I'm sure he's paying 4 or 5 times that much. I want a road fixed. Mr. Gilson isn't getting the job done. We want that road repaired. I would like it paved. This guy needs some way to get to his home. It is not right to do what you're doing and let that road go to pot. Look at the pictures of that road, weeds growing up through it.
Yeah.
And the gravel you see is gravel he hauled in himself. This is Tyler Thompson, by the way.
Yeah. You want to state your name?
Tyler Thompson.
But we need some help. The road needs to be paved, needs to be fixed now. We don't want Mr. Thompson to have to haul his own gravel in to get this road done. It's time to get this road fixed. This gentleman was not yet in the council at the time that I was here before, but he was there. But we need some help. We don't want to have to pave that road when it is a county road, and the state gave it to the county to maintain.
Larry, since we visited on the phone last week, and I tried to do a little bit of research on it and look into it, from my understanding, the county is taking care of the frontage road, but I don't know that the county actually owns or has ownership of the road leading up to the house, do they? Is there any record of that?
From the fence line up, the road belongs to us. But this is much a frontage road as the other one is. The other one goes up and stops. This one goes up and stops. And then the roads go off of them. It's the same road as you've got below. You call it a frontage road. I call it a frontage road as well, because that's what it does. It goes up and stops, both of them.
Because in looking at this, I'm just trying to find out any type of record that was anything in writing or whatever that was put down when they put that in, when the county, you do have it in writing for that? Because if there's something there that shows that there was an agreement and the state had worked it out with the county or something like that, then we can look at it. Otherwise, I mean,
We went
it's a
through the
personal
records the
drive.
last time you were here, and we couldn't find anything the last time it was here either.
I'll get it again and send it to you again.
Well, like I said, we went through the last time you were here, Larry, and nothing was in the minutes and nothing was in there that said that this was happening. So we had Region 1 look into it from UDOT. We had Bill from our look at it. Well, like I said, and we're actually going through and putting what you say county roads or driveways that have been on the county map before, but we have never been able to find this one on a county map going clear back to 1976.
Well, you better get it on your map. It's a county road.
If you do have some
Give me the land.
documentation,
We'd love to have the documentation that says that they put it back over to us.
yeah, if you
would
have
allow
that,
us
we
to
would
do
love to
something.
see it. That's the problem. We can't do
This is
anything if it's not a county
property. It
road.
is not my property.
And if we can show that, then there's, we can work with it. But if there's nothing to show that, then our hands are kind of tied, because if there's nothing showing that the county has ownership of it, then
It's
there's not much
illegal
we can
for us to do work on a road or a right-of-way that doesn't pertain to the county. And so we have to know without any doubt that it is county property. Otherwise, it's illegal for us to do that work on private property. And so if you have the documentation or some information that shows that, then we can move forward.
'Cause
And so that's where we're at.
As much as I understand what you're saying, and I mean, I'd love to help out, but even if we did or could make an exception, then you got to understand from where we're coming from, that opens the floodgates for a lot of other people who are saying, hey, well, my drive, and we could have a problem that way. So we've got to have it so that it proves that the county owns it.
I'm not asking for any exceptions. I just want you to fix the county road.
So my question, if I could, that fence line that is just above the lane that he's talking, that county road that he's talking about, that is a county fence, is that not?
I'm not sure
I don't
if it
think,
is.
we don't have any fence lines. It's a fence in, fence out. So if it was somebody's, it's the property owners of the side. We don't
I
take care of any
I could
fences.
about guarantee that's a county fence, just the way that it's built.
So when it was probably done by UDOT, they come in and do 3 to 4 fences and do property lines. So
Okay.
it probably was done by UDOT, because I
Okay.
was actually on that survey crew, but we don't
Okay.
have any county fences.
Okay. All right. Well, so that being the case, that fence line, it runs all the way down to the end of this frontage
Right.
road that Larry's talking about. Every other driveway that goes off of that road, that goes up into any home, has about 5 or 6, 5 to 10 feet of asphalt that comes off that frontage road until it hits that fence. After that, everybody's driveway is gravel. So this is the same situation where it's coming off that frontage road, and it's going all the way up until that fence line. And that's all we're asking. We're not, like I say,
We're looking at it.
yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, all those other homes up further, that fence line is a lot closer to that frontage road. And so we're looking at it saying, look, that fence line is obviously the county's property, right? And so if it's not, then we would like that fence relocated down below so we can have that full piece of property. And if it's not, if that is the county line, then we would like to have that road fixed. I'll be honest with you, I probably had 20, 30 people come up to my place and say, I'm never coming up here again. I about ripped the bottom end off my vehicle down here.
He's not kidding.
Yeah.
And until I
I've
put
been
that
up to your
gravel in
house.
there, until I put that gravel in there, I mean, it was,
So when
but-
you went to get your loan to do your house, did they actually look at it and see what driveway and was it to get there, or did they just assume? Because
They did not.
they should have done access,
well, there was already a home there,
which,
so-
yeah,
Yeah.
that means that there was already a road there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that sometimes things get through the,
But yeah, so Larry and I, like I say, we're not asking for anything above and
Right.
beyond anybody else. If it is the county's road, we would just like it upkept,
Right. and that's what we're trying to look at.
Yeah, and.
Let me have Bill come up and talk
Yeah.
a little bit about the fence line, and maybe that's something we need to look into to see where the fence line or who the property is, but
Have a seat, Bill.
Bill can come up and talk and grab the microphone.
So when I recently got a
Bill, you gotta have to take the microphone so we can hear it.
Bill
all.
Gilson, County Road Supervisor. When Stan told me we were coming in, take a relook at this and rehash it out and look into it, I made a request to Region 1 UDOT if they have any old records or anything pertaining to Jack Pierce or the Pierce property as I-15 was being built in there. One thing that is telling in the drawings that were sent to me, so it does show the drawings for the driveway access when they were constructing I-15. And it actually states, and it shows the new alignment of the driveway approach for the frontage road and how to construct it in. And they call it out as JP line. I don't know why I'm thinking they probably called it JP line because it was for Jack Pierce line. And the actual drawings within the I-15 schematics call it out as a driveway access or a driveway road. And I can send these to you and I'll email them so you guys can take a look at. But I think that's one thing telling is it was put in the plans of I-15 as a driveway access, just like many others that were put down, not as an access road. The county property you're calling property is not county, it is UDOT right away. So when you pull up on the plat, all the way up to your fence that they paved the new access driveway up there to the fence line is UDOT right away. It's an interesting relationship that the county has with the state. It's their right of way, but it's our roadway. So Harley Drive, which is the frontage road, Harley Drive, we are under the responsibility to maintain it, snow plow it, chip seal it, pothole repair it, and keep it safe and repaired. The county's per policy does not take care of driveway approaches. Whether you've got a driveway approach off of Harley Drive of 10 feet long or 900 feet, we're not in the game to snowplow driveway approaches or patch holes or repave them. One thing also is telling in this schematic drawing of I-15 is that there was an agreement with Jack Pierce, between Jack Pierce and the Attorney General's office of the state of Utah. We requested to get this agreement to see what it says, but they cannot find it. So I would definitely, if you can go through your records or your dad's records and see if there's something in that Attorney General's agreement back when the properties were being sold and so forth. I mean, there is some speculation on how did this frontage road driveway access get put in and paved up to the fence line? And it's just speculate. We can't speculate why it got paved.
We went back to Johnny Collum and what was the other name you told me?
Dean Rock. Johnny Collum. Have they ever maintained this, snow plowed it, chip sealed it?
Was it ever ours?
And anything in that going up to the old Jack Pierce hangar? And they all said, no, we have never done any maintenance on that roadway.
Okay. Well, that's what I said.
But that's only records I can go back and surmise is talking to John Collum, who worked for the county for 44 years, and Dean Rock, who's worked about the same. So just going off of that verbal knowledge.
But if you can find that documentation that says that for some reason it was turned over to the county and we just didn't get any record.
In the middle of that road and put up a hamburger stand, we wouldn't have any disagreement.
No. It's an approach.
It's on UDOT right away. As long as you don't get within 33 feet of Harley Drive,
You can do whatever you want.
of our easement of 33 feet off of it, that's UDOT right away.
Off the edge of the road?
Yeah, but UDOT owns up to your fence line. So then you'd be encroaching into state right away.
Well, if they allow you to fix their road, why don't they allow you to fix them?
That's why I'm telling you, our county policy is we do not maintain snowplow or chip seal or pothole patch access driveways. And that's what I'm saying, the truing tooth on the drawings.
That was put in after I left the last time I was here. After I brought this up, the first thing you guys did was get in and say, we're not gonna do those kind of roads. It is the same road. It goes up, our driveway comes off of there. The other one goes up, stops, and the driveways come off of those other ones.
But we don't go up and take care of Jepson's driveway where it comes off of it.
I'm asking you,
No, I'm just telling you that we don't.
they don't either.
All right, well, that's what I'm just saying. So we don't go up past Jepson's. It's just that line. So anything that comes off that, that comes off
That's what
that.
he's saying.
It's the same
Larry's
thing,
just
it
saying
stops.
you go to the end of that lane, of that frontage road.
Of Harley Drive,
Right.
Yeah, you
correct.
plow all the way up to there, you know, we're not asking you to plow up past the fence, you know, that's our deal. You know, it's our fault for building off the road, right?
Right.
Say. So, I mean, but
But if we can find some sort of agreement that said back
Yeah.
in the day, then
If there's some sort of documentation, I'd be glad to take a look at it and see if there's a way we can help you.
because
We'd really like to see that agreement between Jack Pierce and the Attorney General's office that the drawings allude to. And I'll forward that email I got onto Tyler so you guys can take a look at it.
I worked for the state for a while on that project going out, and it was interesting to see which lanes that they actually did take over and which ones they didn't. So like going to the gravel pit up to the Boxell County gravel pit back in the day. So they did one side of it with the frontage, but the other side they didn't do. So I have no idea what the rhyme or reason, but if there was 2 frontage roads going off of that, somebody made the decision only to pave and put one into service and took the other one out. So I wasn't around at that time, but I will bet you 10 to 1 that that's what happened. That there was 2 frontage roads basically coming off that same line, and they had the one frontage road that was closest to the highway and probably just discontinued the other one.
so the biggest portion of the damage on that road is actually, so you got I call it a ditch bank that runs down the side of that Harley Drive.
And the water goes across.
Yeah,
The borrow ditch area.
yeah, that borrow ditch area.
Yeah.
And there's a
Harley.
culvert, which I would probably say might be undersized, I don't know, goes underneath this road that we're talking about, this frontage road we're talking about. And that is actually, when we had that really wet year, I'm gonna say
2
3
years ago.
really wet, whole county was underwater. That's when it really started to erode away. And if you go on that other side of that culvert now, I mean, it's like a 4 foot, no, I'm exaggerating, 3 foot drop off there. It's pretty good size.
Yeah.
You know, and if a trailer or a vehicle, whatever, were to go off that right there, it'd be down in there. And I assume that would be a county culvert.
If you're talking along from 33 feet from the center line of Harley Drive out into our right-of-way, and it's pertaining to the drainage along Harley Drive and that culvert,
it definitely
we
would.
can help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
We have helped out with other residents with that as far as the borrow ditch. If that needs to be replaced and a new culvert needs to be installed, we can help with that because that deals with the frontage road Harley Drive.
Sure.
Which has been on the map for, in the early 80s and 70s. I mean, ever since I-15 was constructed,
Sure.
it's been on our mapping system ever since then, so.
We kind of went through this with High Country Estates a couple of years ago on the stuff up at Out Vabels. So that really wasn't a county road. It was one coming into it. And then they had to actually do an agreement with us that they would bring that roadway up to standard, and then they actually gave it to us. So that was the other reason we were kind of looking at it to see if anyone at that time would have done that and then actually deeded it over to the county. And we just can't find any record of it for that reason. So we just went through this with High Valley Estates or whatever it is
last year.
last year. So that's why we said, let's go back, see if there's any place we can find any record that they, donated that road back to us after they did anything that they did to us, and we can't find any record of it. Because if it come to the point where, like Commissioner Hatfield was saying, that we started taking private driveways off of main roads, we've got hundreds of them probably,
Oh, yeah.
that go to places that maybe shouldn't be. But if you can find that agreement, we'd be grateful, and then we'll send Bill up there with that culvert thing and
Yeah.
take a look and see if we can at least get that culvert cleaned out.
I definitely invite you to look at that, because the culvert
We
is
could-
pretty rough shape, and it, like I said, I think what happened is it got, I don't know if debris in there, honestly, I've never looked underneath there, but I'm assuming it went out and around the culvert, and that's when it went to the lower
Top
end
of the road.
of that frontage road, and just kind of went off down there.
If it's going to help facilitate the drainage for Harley Drive by putting in a new culvert on that access point right there, that driveway access, then I think it's in the public's interest to go and repair that and put a new culvert in, most definitely.
Sure.
Okay. I'd make a motion, we table this until you can find the agreements, and then we'll send him up there until we can figure that out. So if we can find the agreements, we'll just table this until you come back, and if
One
you,
other thing, sorry, I don't.
Sure, you're
interrupt you, Stan. When you're up there, just, so the road coming off, that 1,000 North right there, I live right there, and I don't even know, but
The county
Where it turns on.
calls it out as it's Harley Drive, or you're talking where it comes off of the Tremont Street
Yeah, so.
above the
from there-
Freightliner dealership right there.
Yeah.
That would be a Tremont issue.
Yeah, so that road from that point, I think Tremont repaved that little portion right there by that little parkish area.
Correct.
But from there on until, actually right about where this, our frontage road comes off, I think that was all chip sealed, similar time frame. I
Correct.
think maybe the road has probably been chip sealed at least once before then.
I
Sorry,
believe it was
since.
4.5 years ago,
Okay, so
approximately that
so
time.
Our frontage
We can
road
look.
obviously wasn't done the same the last time anyways. But that particular road there is actually kind of rougher shape too. If you'd look at that while you're there, it's, I mean, it bounces you all over the place. Plus it's narrower than the rest of the portion. It's like the upper portion got redone a number of years ago and it was made wider and a lot better. That other section's narrower. And, we got kids walking up and down there for bus stops and everything
And the Harley Drive goes right up to the water tanks, I
Yeah.
think. That's the, and I think
Yeah,
that
it
was the main
stops at
reason.
the end of the Jepson, I believe the Jepsons live there, and Garland has a
Water tank right there and they
water
have an
tank, and they
access.
keep the locks, the lock gate on it.
Okay.
That Harley Drive has
location.
kind of become the Tremont and walking road for anybody that wants to go exercise. And making that wider would be exceptional.
Okay.
I know, while I'm here, I'm just gonna say this too. There's a lot of families up that road that would love a bus stop of some kind. My wife goes to the bus like 6 times a day. That's our own fault for living where we live. I will say that. But there was something that could be done with Tremont down there. Well, that wouldn't do us any good, never mind. But anyway, just keep that in mind. But,
You may have to contact the school district
yeah.
for anything to deal with
But if,
buses.
if there was, I will say that, another thing, that little gravel portion off that bend, I can't tell you how many times I've pulled up there going to my house and caught people naked and leaving condoms, everything else, drugs,
That sounds,
everything right there.
that sounds like a sheriff problem there,
It is
so.
insane. I cannot believe
Wow.
people that race up and down that road. And this is all a separate subject, obviously, but the reason we're here is the frontage road, and that's what we like to stay with. But just while I'm here, 'cause I don't get here every.
We usually go there to watch the fireworks from Garland and Riverside.
Yeah.
Serious.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a great spot, it really is, but, and I don't know why they do it right there, right by the interstate, but they do.
Okay.
I kick them out all the time, but.
I'll make a motion, we table this until we find some more information.
I'd second that motion.
Any other discussion? Okay, I have a
Thanks for
motion and
coming.
a second to table this, waiting for additional information. All in favor?
Aye.
And then Bill will go out, take a look at that drainage thing and see what we can
I'll
do.
email you guys those drawings that I had that I was referring to, so you have them for your information.
Okay.
You can forward them on to Larry?
Sure.
Okay, okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you,
you.
guys.
Want me to meet you down there, anytime? You bet.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Tyler. Hey, I'm still waiting for a visit, Tyler. I'm still waiting.
Okay. Jenica,
So we are just back mainly to report what we found from the subject at the last meeting where we had 5 patrol employees who were going to go over on vacation and not be allowed to use those. So Jim went back, did all the legwork, talked to those guys. We've had 3 of them that would like a complete payout of anything over the 160-hour cap, and 2 of them would like to split compensation, roll half over, and then pay half out. So just to kind of give you guys an idea
okay,
of what we're looking at. Budgetarily, we should be fine.
right, I mean, there's pretty good personnel line item there, and so,
What's caused the issue will pay for the issue, so.
I just wanted to tell you
happy,
that
sad story.
Hadfield always has you in mind because we actually think we had somebody that wanted to come be a deputy for us that, from Indiana, I guess?
Yeah.
Have them come out.
That's what I said.
They can't get with this, was it the CIA or whoever?
They want to do the CIA, but they haven't had much
They
luck.
can't,
And I
they
said, well,
can't get in there. We told them to come out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a little quieter than the CIA, hopefully.
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Wasn't last night.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Anyway, just by means of information.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
I don't need, do we need to make a motion? Okay.
You tabled it last time, so.
Maybe just to make it so the payout's okay, and then.
I'd make a motion, that we approve the sheriff's office patrol policy exception.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
guys.
Thanks, you
Tell
guys.
them thanks too.
We've been getting a lot of emails and Facebook messages and text messages from everybody, and they really appreciate. So just tell them how much we appreciate them, please.
I'll make sure that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mr. Lyons.
Good afternoon.
Just made it, just barely, like a minute.
Just
For good
barely, we're
afternoon.
officially into the afternoon. We just have one item today, the Jonathan Grover subdivision. It's a two-lot subdivision. Each lot consists of 2.3 acres. It is located at 4748 West, 11600 North. And it has been through all applicable staff review and comes with a recommendation of approval.
Did you say 11600 North?
Yes,
That's my street, but
much further west than.
yes, I was
Yeah.
just going to say, like the other side of the,
Yeah, it's over
Okay.
kind of Fielding-ish area, I
Yeah.
think, so.
they got a really weird connection right there when it comes to county addresses and stuff.
Yeah. Can throw you off.
Yeah, Domino's couldn't find us the other night, so just saying. Instead of calling, they took it back.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions, gentlemen?
Nope.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the Jonathan Grover subdivision.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Summers, a second by Commissioner Hadfield. All in favor? Aye. Want to sign? You bet. See right here? Yep.
Can you ever remember TV being we made him the chair all the time, so we couldn't make a motion, right?
I think he made himself the chair all the time.
We just didn't have a
Well, that was
motion.
just, I think it was supposed to.
I know, we're just right on the ball.
Good
job.
We always made him the chair, so we couldn't make a motion.
And then you were following me, and then we just started rotating, so. Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. Steve,
Scott.
is this you?
It is me.
Okay.
Just quick background. The state has started to recognize its obligation to help out counties with indigent defense services, believe it or not. And
I'll believe it when I
It's
see
only taken
it.
us how many years to,
there's a lot of requirements that are being imposed, hiring the standards that are being imposed on what we provide in indigent defense. One of those is whenever an indigent person appeals a case, his attorney on the appeal has to be on a specific roster.
oh,
Our current public defenders don't have any attorneys on that roster. They went ahead and handled an appeal, but were kicked off the appeal because they weren't on their roster. So they're scrambling, trying to figure out what to do.
What does it take for them to be on the roster? Is it just years of experience or
Yeah, there's
expertise
a-
in those appellate cases?
Yeah, and it's kept by the appellate court. They have to apply, and the appellate court reviews it, and
So how do they get on there to get experience if they can't get on there
That's a
to
good
get
question.
experience?
good question.
Because I don't imagine that folks from Provo and Salt Lake are too anxious to come up here.
No, but
can we send the
the
cases
Indigent
down
Defense
there?
Commission has money to help us pay for that. They wouldn't help pay for somebody that's not on the roster. So what they've done is they have arranged for an agreement with the Utah County Public Defender's Office to handle those appeals for a flat, it's just a flat $5,000, which is really a bargain. And then if those appeals go beyond the $5,000, the Indigent Defense Commission picks up the difference. So that's the agreement that we have. Our current public defenders are trying to get one of their guys on the roster. The Supreme Court entered an order that the judge was to appoint an appellate attorney who's on the roster as of Sunday. So on Tuesday, they did, and it's somebody that's not on this agreement, it's not our current, so we're trying to hurry and get this through so we can get somebody that at least we're familiar with to handle it. public defenders are claiming they're going to work around it by getting their guy on, and in the meantime, they'll handle it, but I'm not sure that's going to work with Indigent Defense Commission.
They might get booted again.
Yeah. So what I've got here, I don't know if, Martha, do you have a copy of that agreement? So this agreement is an agreement with Utah County to provide those services for an entire year for just a flat $5,000.
And they pay for it. The state pays for it.
We have to pay the $5,000.
Oh,
And it should really come out of our public defender's budget because they have agreed to provide all defense.
right,
They're not
that's what I'm just
calling.
going to ask you. Okay.
So that's what the aim is, but we need to get this agreement in place so that we can have somebody make an appearance from the Utah County Public Defenders. It's really not as big of a deal as you'd think because all they do is appear in Salt Lake at the appellate
Right.
court.
So this is with a group of attorneys out of Utah County.
Yes.
They're not affiliated with Utah County as such. It's just a group that happens to reside down there?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
How often does this happen?
I think we've got 4 appeals going on right now.
Wow.
So probably every 3 months or so we have an appeal.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the MOU 19-46 for indigent defense services.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hadfield, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye. Put your
Okay.
teeth back. You
This is just a 12-month deal, and
12-month. Right.
see where it
Okay.
goes from there.
so, all right.
So,
And I will need to send an original down to, you just got one copy there, Marla? Should I have them sign another one?
I think there's just one.
Stan's making fun of me
I don't
stumbling
know if
over
we need to put a
indigent.
contract number on it before they sign it, but
Don't ask me to say things. I'll make a motion, we go into a closed session to talk about personnel.
Do you want this copy? or-
yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Second?
Have a motion and a second.